Title: The Narcissist's Playbook, Hidden in Oz and the Matrix, Intro and Hook. What if the secret to breaking free from a narcissist wasn't in some dense psychology textbook, but was hiding in plain sight in two of the most iconic movies ever made? You know that nagging feeling that something is deeply, fundamentally wrong with your world? That feeling Morpheus in The Matrix calls a splinter in your mind? That's not paranoia. It's the first step. Because it turns out, Dorothy's journey to escape the wizard and Neo's fight against the Matrix are the exact same story. They're both powerful roadmaps for breaking free from a narcissist's twisted reality, what psychologists call the shared fantasy. The central thesis. For anyone who's been in a relationship with a narcissist, you know it feels less like a partnership and more like a psychological prison you didn't even know you were in. A narcissist doesn't just live in the real world, they build a new one around you. This shared fantasy is an alternate reality, a carefully constructed illusion of love and connection that's designed for one purpose: to serve the narcissist's needs and keep you under their control. In their world, your identity gets systematically erased and replaced with whatever role they need you to play. It's a long con, a grooming process, where they hook you by pretending to be everything you've ever dreamed of. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this playbook by showing how The Matrix and The Wizard of Oz are brilliant allegories for waking up and taking your power back. Part 1. The Matrix and the Shared Fantasy. In The Matrix, the world is a lie, a computer simulation built to keep people plugged in and passive while machines drain them for energy. And that's the perfect picture of the narcissist's shared fantasy. It's a world built for them, where you exist only to provide them with what they need, their supply. The narcissist, just like the machines, needs you, but not for who you are. They just need you to play your part. Neo's journey starts with that splinter in his mind, the sense that something is off. This is the first crack in the fantasy, and for survivors of narcissistic abuse, it's an achingly familiar feeling. It's that constant cognitive dissonance, the gap between the perfect world they promise and the painful reality you actually live. It's in those moments when their mask slips, and for a split second, you see the cold machinery whirring underneath. The real turning point, for Neo and for any survivor, is a choice. Morpheus holds out 2 pills. "You take the blue pill," he says. "The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes." The blue pill is the choice to stay in that shared fantasy. It's deciding to ignore the lies, the manipulation, and the gaslighting because it's easier. It's the comfort of the lie over the harshness of the truth. But the red pill? That's the painful, liberating awakening. It's choosing to see the abuse for exactly what it is. It's accepting that the person you thought you loved was a character, a fabrication designed to control you. Unplugging isn't just one event, it's a process. It's like being born all over again. You have to relearn how the world works and, more importantly, who you are without their script. The transition. But what's truly mind-bending is that this blueprint for escaping a psychological prison showed up decades earlier in a story we all thought was for kids. Long before Neo ever followed a white rabbit, a young girl from Kansas went on her own journey down a yellow brick road, facing the exact same playbook of illusion and control. Part 2. The Wizard of Oz was not a children's story. At first glance, The Wizard of Oz is just a charming fairy tale, but when you look at it through a psychological lens, it becomes a stunningly accurate portrait of a narcissistic system. The land of Oz is ruled by the wizard, an all-powerful figure who's been hyped up by a massive PR campaign. Everyone says he's the most wonderful wizard of all. This is the love-bombing stage. But when Dorothy and her friends finally get an audience, they don't meet a wise leader. They meet a terrifying, raging bully who uses fear and intimidation to control them. This is the classic narcissist. They project a larger-than-life image of power and grandeur. But it's all a mask to hide a deeply insecure and fragile person. The wizard's entire show is based on illusion: smoke, fire, and a booming microphone. He demands Dorothy complete a life-threatening mission just to earn his help, a classic tactic of making you jump through impossible hoops. But his power completely evaporates the second a little dog, Toto, pulls back a curtain. That moment of pulling back the curtain is everything when you're dealing with a narcissist. It's the instant you see them for what they really are. Not a god, but a small, scared person, frantically pulling levers to keep up a facade. And when he's exposed, does the wizard apologize? Of course not. He deflects. "I'm a good man," he insists. "Just a bad wizard." It's a classic narcissistic non-apology, a complete refusal to take any real responsibility. But the wizard isn't the only problem in Oz. The story also gives us the perfect metaphor for the narcissist's enablers, the flying monkeys. Today, flying monkeys is a pop psychology term for the people a narcissist uses to do their dirty work. The friends or family who spread gossip, enforce the narcissist's rules, and punish you for stepping out of line. And maybe the most profound insight comes from Dorothy's friends. The scarecrow who wants a brain, the tin man who wants a heart, and the lion who wants courage. These three aren't just characters. They represent the very things that narcissistic abuse strips away from you. Think about the scarecrow. He's been so thoroughly gaslit that he believes he's brainless. Gaslighting is the core tactic of making you doubt your own mind, your memory, and your sanity. You're told you're too sensitive or crazy until you stop trusting your own perceptions. The Tin Man feels hollowed out and empty because he thinks he has no heart. A relationship with a narcissist is a one-way street where your feelings are dismissed. You learn to suppress your own emotional needs until you feel numb, just like him. And the cowardly lion has lost his nerve. Narcissistic abuse is a slow erosion of your self-worth. The constant criticism and belittling makes you feel powerless, and you lose the courage to stand up for yourself or believe you deserve better. But here's the beautiful irony. Throughout the entire film, the scarecrow has all the best ideas. The Tin Man is the one who cries and feels everything so deeply, and the lion repeatedly faces his fears. They already had what they were looking for. They just needed to believe it. The synthesis, the path to freedom. And this is where both stories deliver the exact same powerful lesson. In The Matrix, Neo doesn't win by finding a bigger gun. He wins the moment he finally understands how the Matrix works and realizes he can bend the rules. He becomes the one. The power was never outside of him. It was his to claim all along. And in The Wizard of Oz, after all her trials, Glinda the Good Witch reveals the ultimate truth. The wizard never had the power to send her home. She did. The ruby slippers she was wearing the whole time could have taken her back to Kansas from the very beginning. As Glinda says, "You've always had the power." The ruby slippers and the red pill are the same thing. They represent the profound, life-altering realization that you are not trapped. The power to leave the toxic reality, to escape the shared fantasy, was never in the hands of your abuser. It was always within you. You don't need the wizard's permission. You just have to recognize your own power, click your heels, and choose your own reality. Conclusion and call to action. The Narcissist's Playbook is all about illusion. They build a matrix, a land of Oz, a fake world where they are the wizard and you are just a character. They try to take your mind, your heart, and your courage. But as these timeless stories show us, no curtain can hide the truth forever, and no simulation can imprison a mind that has decided to be free. The journey back to yourself starts when you realize you've been wearing the ruby slippers the whole time. You are the one. You always had the power, and what you do with it is up to you. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more videos that break down the psychology of our world. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What other movies have you seen this pattern in?